After that, let's see, hold on. So after that, it wasn't long till he all of a sudden got this unexplained sickness, and they actually told me. I said I'm gonna come get my child, and he gonna stay with me. And the law had the doctor say that he wouldn't make it up to my house. How he couldn't? How is he ain't gonna make it up to my house? That he that sick, that he got tubes, and that it ain't gonna last. He can't sit up that long. Well, nobody ever said where did he get this sickness from? Where did he get it from? All of a sudden, when he get over to Gwanda's house, tell him Gwanda's house is just loaded. So next thing I know, the infection, I guess, is cleared up. He couldn't. That's so weird to me that it wasn't. He was too sick to come and live with his mama and can't travel in a car. But he can sure travel to go rob a white lady and take her bank money. But he can't. But that same person is too sick to get in a car and last to and survive to get to the can't do that, can't survive to get to my house. But he had enough. I guess his bags weren't didn't need to be drained while he was out robbing people and robbing stores. I guess that he had healed enough. That's what they're saying. But they had told me that he couldn't. He wouldn't make it to Bowling Green. And next thing I know, it has been uh next thing I know, it's been I prayed and I just can feel it. I'm telling you, I could feel it. And I said, Corey, every time I call him, the law was over my phone then, real bad, in Kentucky. And they wouldn't let me call nobody. I wrote in my notebook, they was cutting them phones off uh, every day. I would get up and I would go over to the office. Can I use your phone? I ain't got no dial tone. They cut the phone off. Cause they got mad because I cut the cell phone off and got a house phone. I don't need no phone. I got catch up and we in Kentucky, and ain't no black people here anyway. So and by that time, I knew that all my family was working against me. So I don't need to talk to nobody. I got a house phone. Play on that, and they did. They did. They put that same house number on the cell phone. Good night. And then and put the they just they just some love. They just play too much. They just do whatever they want to do. And that junk is hilarious. They just determined. They just determined to do exactly what they want to do. And they did. And so you're going to have a cell phone. I don't want no cell phone. Well, you're going to have one. Because this house phone number is a cell phone. They put the house number on catch up cell phone. Good night. And so I got the call. Guess who called me? Nika. How she seen it. Convenience. Just all of a sudden at work. They didn't want Gwanda to call. That would have been too coincidental. They ain't want it to look like that. So it looked like it was all a setup. So they said, let Nika call and let her call and say that she seen it at work on her news feed. And next thing I know, and Ketchup came in the door. They timed it real good. Them officers up there was tired of me. So they said, we gonna get her today. So when they got Corey, they had Nika call. And then when she called, Corey Ketchup walked in the door at the same time. So he could be they always have somebody to be the that we gotcha. That they always have that seal that make you say, like, you really, like, you. He came in right at Nika did, like, yep, I did it. And I cried so hard. And he came upstairs and I was crying so hard. I was crying real hard. And he came upstairs and he was cold as I don't know what. And he said, you need to keep all that down. And he walked out and slammed the door. And I said, remind me to hate him. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. And he never, ever, ever said, I'm sorry about your son. He came up there. That was the stamp. They did it. They had the call. And they had him coming there to let me know that he's the one that signed off on it. He did it. He did it. And that's because they knew that I was waking up to who he was. And so that's why they got me back. Because they was tired of me. They was tired of me in Kentucky. They was tired of me. They was just, we are sick of you and your shenanigans. But they wasn't threatening my life. They was just aggravating. They wasn't threatening my life. They were they were threatening all the time to go to jail and harassing me to make you think we will kill you. But they were never saying it like they do here in Atlanta. You know, Atlanta tells me every day, and they try their best to say it every morning when I wake up on the TV. They try my best because they know that I'm conditioned to look at the TV as soon as I get up, because that's where the first message of the day is always, it used to be on the phone, but they changed that after I stopped selling furniture. Because when I would sell furniture, the first thing I used to do is get up, get the phone, go to the bathroom, check the bank, check online to see if I got any messages, use the bathroom, pray, get in the shower, turn my music on. So they stopped doing the phone because my pattern, my schedule changed. So my schedule changed that she don't get up and get the phone anymore like she used to. She looks at the TV first, then that's where the first message of the day is always. And I have to change that because it sets the tone for me to have to rid my mind of those negative thoughts. And so I just have to focus. And so, but it's been that way for years, that as soon as I wake up, the first message of the day is the TV or the phone. And then if it's the phone, if they use the phone, it could be whatever, but it was always the phone. And then now it's the TV. So sometimes I try not to look at it, and sometimes I do, because the warning is helpful. It kind of helps me guide what I'm going to do. And that's not supposed to be that way because God don't want me to do that. But it kind of just helped me see how I'm going to move do that day, and if I'm going to go out, how bad the threat is or how bad somebody is mad or did I really say too much, it's always that, somebody gonna be mad if you said too much. Most of the time, if you didn't call no agency names, might not be that bad. They know you're gonna talk and say something, but if you don't call no agencies names or call no tags or just don't don't tear up the case too much, then they might not be mad. But if you tear up the case too bad and it's something that they was really building and you get on there and tear it up, yeah, they're gonna be mad. That gonna be mad. It used to be the sirens. They would use the sirens to say it, or they would ding, but they don't ding anymore. So, and then they used to use the sirens. So if you saying something real bad, or if they really mad, then they're going to turn the sirens on. And so they stopped doing that. So now it's just like you get the squirrel. They still do the squirrel. They still do TD Jakes. They love Joel Osteen. Gosh, they will make you not want to look at anything else Christian because they changed the heck out of those titles to whatever they want to say. So it just depends on what I say, on how bad they're going to do and what they're going to say. And then if anybody is called out or if they know who I'm talking about and I just didn't get no name, then they gonna get mad. They're gonna get mad. So it just depends. So, but with Corey, I was thinking about him. Obviously, I love my son. Somebody told me at the house on Judson, and I thought that the police could have been trying to tell me a message, or maybe was threatening me with something, because they was telling me that they was telling me a horror story about somebody in prison. And so I just didn't listen because I can't do anything about it. And I can't, only thing I can do is pray. And I can't stress about a situation that I can't change. Even though I'm not in prison, in so many ways I am, and in so many ways I'm not. My body is not in prison, but my mind is. And that's the way they do you, because that's the way that you subdue your target and control them and manipulate them to a certain degree by playing with their external variables. So when it comes down to Corey, you're supposed to be able to call the prison itself and talk to the counselor. They have rerouted that. You're only calling now to the Georgia Department of Corrections because they don't want you to have no names. They don't want that. So when I call any other prison that he done been in, every other prison he done been in, I done called. Now, all of a sudden, they're trying, saying, "Oh, I seen Corey. We was in this place together." then why am I just not hearing it when I say, and how long ago was that? That still ain't got nothing to do with today. And I don't care if you did see him, what's going on today. So, uh, they they have rerouted the call. Corey been locked up a long time. I've been calling about him a long time. They don't want to have nobody with no records calling, no log with his mother called from this number and it ain't this person that we is saying is his mama or that we is saying whatever. Because they told me that the reason that I ain't on there is because they was gonna say Corey ain't got no mama, which lets me know that they have changed my identity to something and obviously made me a man because they said that Corey mama ain't nowhere on the thing. Now why is that? When I was on his paperwork for court and I was on his paperwork, they called me by him being in court. Not going to court. They didn't want nobody there. But they called me about him being in jail. The public defenders called me. They called me about when I talked to them when he was in what is that? Not Augusta YDC. When he was in Finney Road, Augusta Detention Center. I talked to people over there. Sergeant Smith or whoever was, the black man that I wrote about, every night I talked almost every time. They only had one person that I could talk to keep it enclosed. So every time I call, I said, why are you the only one on duty, morning, afternoon, or night? You're the only one I could talk to. What gives? And he said, that's just the way it always is, that you just happen to call. No, you just the one that they just keep transferring me to because they don't want me to talk to nobody else. So that's how that was with that. But I talked to people there. And then, but when he got in prison, nope. It was all done. I didn't get to talk to anybody else. And that's when it just went that I wasn't talking to him anymore. And so that's how that was. So, that's what they did. So they don't let me talk to him. So when I call, like I said, they say, we'll take your name and number, have somebody call you. Nobody calls. And it's nobody to call to the actual place. You can't go up there unless it's visitation day. So it's nobody to see and it's nobody to verify. And that's because you're on punishment. And maybe they want me to go up there, on visitation day or something and to take a picture. That might be what they waiting on because Gwanda said to do it. So if Gwanda said to do it, that might be the plan. That we ain't gonna, he's only an hour away and it say I could get down the bus. So they probably say, yeah, we want her to come on up here and we gonna have that bus with all men on it and we gonna change the date to the 15th. And you look like you coming in, though. You going out. You may have somebody come and walk past you right there. Oh, I set that junk up so good. If I go up there, they gonna say, yeah, first of all, visitation, I can look online. They gonna say she finna look online and see when the visitation is. It's gonna be Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. They gonna say make it a Wednesday that she can come. Put longer visitation on Wednesday so she can come on Wednesday. They gonna get Marta to use the 39 bus. They gonna get Marta to use the 39 bus. They're going to make the visitation Wednesday. They're going to say visitation is 8 to 5. It's really not going to be. Cause I ain't going to get to see them anyway. So they're going to say 8 to 5 to give me a long time to get there. They're going to have nothing but men on the bus when I get on there. They're going to change the date to the 15th or whatever month. Then they gonna, when I go in the jail, they gonna have that coming out, and they gonna, I bet you any amount of money, they gonna have somebody from horticulture or some man in an outside detail gonna be standing out at that gate. I bet you any amount of money, and that's gonna be your swap. And he gonna be about the same size, and he gonna have a limp in his leg or something like that, and they gonna put him at that gate. And that's your swap. And then whoever you go talk to when you get in there, that's going to be your probation officer. It's going to look like you just got out. No, I won't be going up there. Even though, technically, if I did, I could be seen. But they're not going to let me be seen. They're going to take it out. They'll stop me before I write my name in anything. Don't be coming up here messing up our logs, putting your name all in stuff. They ain't gonna let that happen. They ain't gonna let that happen. You came up here writing her name all in stuff. They ain't gonna let that happen. You'll be like, I want to write down that I came up here to see my son on the visitation note, but even though I'm gonna be turned down, I still just want to write it down. Not gonna allow that. I'm gonna have somebody as soon as I walk in. Who you here to see? Where your ID and social security card? And then plus I got too much stuff, and I can't leave my stuff all day to do that. If I had a car, now that might work, but I just don't want to play them kind of games. That's just doing too much. So I can't call. I wrote him a letter and sent him some pictures. I have not gotten nothing back. And Gwanda is probably the source of why he doesn't want to talk, because Nico doesn't want to talk to me either, or at least those are just the text messages that I'm getting, and who knows if that is even real. So, but Nico don't want to talk to me, and I ain't talked to Corey either. So, don't talk to nobody. They got Easter acting down, and that's pretty much it. You stay up here and be lonely and look like the profile that we're creating. Make you look like you're old, drunk, done messed up your life, and how people act when they been on drugs and done burn a lot of bridges. That's what the plan is. To look like you old, inconsistent, don't work, don't want to do nothing, ain't motivated, want to just steal from the law all day long, come up with get rich quick schemes, wreck everything, don't talk to your children, don't go to church, be mad at God for how your life turned out, get real bitter, live like that. Say you're going to do stuff and don't do it. I was thinking about that painting job I went and did last week. And I said, that was a little bit of 2023. And that was a little bit of the line he already made about the other man, because he said the other man went on the run from the police and then finished the job. So that was a little bit of that, and that was a little bit of uh, that you in in November of 2023, when I was over there to paint that same room. I rushed out of there. I finished it that time, but the wall it's so ugly. It needed 2 coats of paint, and so uh and it was so dirty. So what they did was uh made that into that same thing, just remove that profile. But they didn't want me to really finish the room anyway, because it needed to keep the same some parts of the operation from 2023 when I went over there and painted it. And it was a man standing there with a girl that worked at Amazon, and everybody's name was Mike in the whole house. That was weird. So, so that's what. So it really wasn't meant to be, and it really wasn't meant for me to keep a good dialogue with him, referring to the person over the house, because China didn't. So it was meant to make me seem like you got a bad rapport with him. So it looked like everything that he said she did, you're doing it because you follow. We'll make you, look like her. So that's why I don't. I had cleaned up last night, and I said stop cleaning up, because clean up your thing, because you don't need to be going into everything. He already said she tore up everything when he left, and they gonna use that for you. So no, don't don't do that. So, but I do want to maintain and integrity and all of that, but no, I don't want to be doing that. I'm glad that I don't have to go clean nobody's room no more. Um, I hated it. As much as I tried to be mature, I just couldn't, because the rooms would feel so evil. And when I walked in them, I could look and it just would feel so evil, and it never feel like you really just doing something to, you know, make you a little bit of money or whatever. And then when he came up here, he was like, you ain't been nowhere in 2 months. So that meant that he was taking away the fact that I just went to Dunlap on not this last Sunday, you know. So to make it look like that wasn't in. So that let me know when I heard him talking, okay, good. Then I know that Sunday on this day they had me traveling somewhere, because he said you ain't been to clean up no room in 2 months. So that meant that they didn't have me on Dunlap on Sunday, last Sunday. He told on himself. And but he's not saying the fact that he's been gone. He ain't saying the fact that all the houses in this area are done. Now, was I supposed to clean every Flint River? I asked him. He said it still looked good. So, what I'm going for, to go check on it and stuff. Yeah, but I had just really, to be honest with you, after I went to, what turned me off? Him. with that furniture that he bought in here for that room back there. And when China came over here on the 29th of January, that did it. That did it. I didn't want to have nothing else to do with it. And I should have just told him, but I was trying to pray and get over it, and I just couldn't. Because it was stuff still going on after that, even after that. When I seen the diapers in the room, it was just, I couldn't. And then plus, every time he would come over here, he would do something from what I had wrote in my notebook. And it's like with any scout, they gonna act like nothing going on until you write about them. And if you write about them, they're gonna start being spiteful. And they're gonna start playing get back and doing stuff in the open to get you back because they know that you wrote about them. But if you just think it and don't write it, they gonna just act like they gonna still be doing what they doing, but they ain't gonna say nothing. But if somebody tell them or they see it that you wrote about them, they gonna start having emotional responses. And depending on what you write, depending on what they gonna do. And so I hadn't been writing about him. He knew that she just ain't saying nothing. And the law know if she know and just ain't saying nothing, that's because you ain't made her mad yet. If you make her mad, she'll build everything she know on you real quick. We know Crystal. They know me. So they say, she ain't mad at you yet. For whatever reason. But she know what you doing. But she just ain't mad at you. She trying to figure it out how you connected in this. Or she just ain't wanting to do it yet. Maybe it's she just ain't did it yet. But they know. So I hadn't built him yet. I knew. Like, I was paying attention to stuff. And like that glove that he had in his truck, he was doing emotional responses. I wrote it down. I took a picture of U-Haul, and he come to the pick me up in the truck. Now I posted the video about U-Haul at 2175 Piedmont Road, and I put the video on my YouTube, and I took a picture of the glove. He put the same glove from a lookalike